Okay, so we got the package in the house. It's a little bit under 100 pounds. Two people were able to move it without too much difficulty. And now let's see what's inside. Okay, this is Glacier Bay, which I think is the Home Depot house brand. $109 with everything included. And according to this, it has the wax ring, it has the toilet seat, it has whatever hardware you need, and it should be nice and easy. Price is right. Let's see what we got. Installation process. We've got to remove the old toilet, clean up this area where the wax ring goes. They give you 2 new screws with thumb screws to connect to the mounting. And let's see what we got here. Toilet upside down, put the wax ring on the new toilet, right? Flip the toilet, put it on top of the mount with the holes lined up. Make sure it's level. And then you can attach all the water inlets. Okay, online it said it should be less than an hour. This is the safety checklist, safety goggles. I wear glasses, putty knife to get rid of the old wax, flexible supply line. I'm going to reuse what I have. Level, I have a level sealant tape. That could be for the threads on the supply line, and silicone caulk for around the base to the goggles. I got my glasses, they're safety glasses. Putty knife, supply line we're going to reuse. Level, we have a level. Sealant tape, plumber's tape, and silicone caulk. Here's the old one, which is actually a Kohler, but for some reason it never worked right, and I'll show you what it does. It kind of drives me crazy. Look, you get that big flapper, but the flapper has a round hole in it. So in practical terms, the flapper will go down immediately when you flush, and we've never gotten the hang of it. It seems like every time we flush, we have to intentionally hold it open because the flapper would just seal. I don't know whether it was a design. First thing we do is turn off the source. The valve's not great, but I think it'll work for this. Eventually we'll undo that, which will allow that. So before I get too far ahead, let's just make sure we have everything we expect to have in the box. So let's cut that open. And stop important. Okay, so this is how they're going to tell you to put it together. Apparently there's an app that guides you through that. That's fine. Bag of parts. Wax ring. Let's see. Small space. All the internals are already pre-mounted. And the mounting screws to mount it to the base are already there. Okay, the base. Okay. Toilet lid. Okay. More. Okay, so I think this is going to be the toilet seat. Yeah, the toilet seat comes with the kit, which is a nice plus for $109 with the toilet seat included. Can't beat that. Okay, let's go back up upstairs and continue taking it apart. This is the first of 2 rusted bolts that I had to deal with. It holds the tank to the base, the right side bolt of that. It's rusted up. There's also a lot of stuff between the tank and the base. I don't know why it's that messy. In any event, I hacksawed the bolt pretty easily, and I'm going to move on. Okay, so this is going to pop off. It doesn't screw. Okay, there's one icky seal between the tank and the bottom. Get rid of that. Let's take a look at the mounting screws underneath. There are 2 screws that hold it to the floor. The other sides are rusted, but this one's coming off nice. Let's see what we have to do for the other side. There we go. That's one. So that one's a pain in the neck. It was rusted, and since it's free spinning on the bottom, I couldn't really get anything to hold it in place. In any event, I ended up hacksawing the son of a gun, and I got it free, so I can lift the upper part. That's the old wax ring that I took off using that flat blade. And Let's see what's going on. Okay, so when they put the tile in, they had to raise this up. So this little attachment is on top of it. Had this extender. They used probably 4 screws that they put in to hold it together. And that's what, yep, somebody just flushed on the first floor, and it sounds like I'm practically there. Okay, let's see what this level it. Although I'm not sure what I'd have to do if it wasn't level, but it seemed level enough. That's the way it was. So this was the hardest part in terms of getting everything to line up. There are 2 screws that come out of 2 bolts that come out of the fixture. And the hole in the toilet is relatively big, so the bolts can kind of flop around. The bolts themselves are not bolted upright. They just kind of sit in this sleeve. And therefore, it's kind of hard to line up. You have the toilet at that point that's assembled. It's got a wax ring on the bottom. And you're holding it off the floor because the wax ring shouldn't really contact its final resting place until you're ready to go, because that's going to make the wax ring take a form, and that form should match where it's going to be. You don't want to shift it around and stuff. So it's really tough to do that. I had 2 people. One person was trying to line up the holes, the screws, the bolts, and the other was, I was holding it up in the air. And it wasn't perfect. I think in a few cases we nicked the wax ring a little bit. Not ideal, but that's how it worked out. And also this morning I'm seeing it might not be square in terms of coming directly out from the wall. It could be a few degrees off, but I'm happy with it. This is not a professional job. The toilet works great. So let me show you what that looks like. 2-button push. And what happens is that the toilet lid has a hole in it. There's not a notch or an indicator. It's just a round hole. You mount this piece inside of it, and all this does is push a lever. There's nothing fancy about it. It's a spring-loaded lever. That engages the actual flush mechanism, which is down there. Now that would just push like, that's the one. And that one would be the 2. Works really good. It's a good strong flush. I'm very happy with the new unit.